Hello everyone, it's Jebro. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to chuck this video into the upper echelons of YouTube and Guild Wars 2 viewing. I hope you are very well. We've had the Revenant, we've had the Warrior Elite Specialization. We know that probably the last one that was teased to us that we're going to be able to play on the 21st of September was the Elementalist. It has been confirmed. Catalyst is the name of this one. I have not seen any trailers. I slept in today because it's been a long week. As you know, I'm in orientation for being a mental health counsellor at school, and it's a really important time. And don't forget, this is what I do to pay the bills while I'm doing all this work for free and learning and still in school. So if you do want to support the channel, massively appreciate it. Patreon is a great place where you can go and donate even just $5, and you can see videos before they come out. Fully on YouTube, as well as going to Twitch, subscribing, or just chucking me a follow, just chucking a like, a comment, a subscription on YouTube. Whatever you can do is massively awesome. Even if you just come and check out the Lightbringers, which is on Fridays. We do the Lightbringers plays and also the Lightbringers podcast as well. There might be a little bit of drilling in the background, so I do apologize about that. There's still work going around my place. Let's go and check out the Catalyst, the Elite Specialization. Coming with End of Dragons. If you want to buy End of Dragons or any other expansion, links in the description below. Let's go check it out. Hammer, yep.
Catalysts have revitalized ancient techniques for channeling elemental forces with a few modern improvements.
Ooh.
They
Fire.
use Jade tech spheres to create concentrated wells of immense power. Using their augment abilities within range of the spheres enhances their effects. With the weight of Tyria's fundamental magics behind every blow from their hammers, these elementalists are a steady presence in melee combat.
Just the dragons? Dragons coming out of there? That was I felt like a very short trailer. Like I needed more information. That is a lot. Alright, so Elementalist normally gets the short end of the stick when it comes to expansions, because I feel like Weaver was cool, but it's very it was just it had some really cool animations, but I don't know, it just felt a bit disjointed. Tempest was really good. Like that had the whole, I don't know, it felt like it had, from core to Tempest, it felt quite not unique necessarily, but it just felt different in terms of just what he could offer. The support and the healing and the extra, people play Tempest DPS as well right now in raids, as well as Weaver is just a lot of buttons. A lot of people basically say to me, the reason they don't play Elementalist is this idea that you have to press so many buttons to do the top DPS in raids and things like that, and you have to press so many buttons and it feels like you're playing a piano when you're playing it. And what I say to Elementalist players is, if you want to do the top damage, yes, you have to do that, but pick the most impactful and important abilities and learn those in an order and then fill in as you go, This is what I'm hoping, maybe not, because I think there should be specs like that where people can feel like they're, playing something which is difficult to play. I think that's okay, but does that mean
have revitalized ancient techniques
you can't have something a little bit simpler, which maybe is what this is? Because don't forget, this is going to be their main weapon. They don't have another weapon to swap to other than out of combat, which is what they did. They added the fact that you could do that. And we were talking about on the Lightbringers about the gyro aspect of it, which is this little thing which pops up around them as well. Now there is some great charge abilities. Now I don't think we've seen the running. Is that a full ability? That looks like an ability, a running charge. Now that is Banish from Guardian. That is a good slamming down. That is not the same as the second ability on Hammer from Guardian. That is Banish. I'm wondering if that is a knockback, actually.
Jade tech spheres to create concentrated
Jade
wells
tech spheres. Now, this is what we were talking about. Looking like similar gyro tech for engineer, and they say here they use Jade tech spheres to create concentrated I'm thinking about Guardian, concentrated wells of immense power. Now the other day I made a bit of a mistake. Okay. I said for warriors that, you know, it would maybe meditations would be a thing. It was 6:30 in the morning and I was tired. Now, breaking the rules, they could add things to, you know, an already utilities that, you know, people already had. Very, very doubtful. They did say they'd break their own rules, but at the same time, no. But if we go to Guild Wars 2, Wikipedia, and we have a look at wells, for example, that is going to be Scrapper, Chronomancer, and Necromancer right now. So, you know, they have the wells for a lot of it is control, and it's just area kind of denial as well in PvP specifically. For engineer, for Scrapper, the gyros actually move around with you. So those wells move around with you, whereas Chronomancer and Necromancer wells stay in one position where you target them, whether you put them down. Whereas, you know, like I said, Scrapper kind of follows you around. So this looks like
power. Using their augment abilities within range of the spheres,
they're not moving.
Enhances their effects. With the weight of Tyria's fundamental magic.
So it looks like they're staying there. That looks like one of the already the dagger. One of the dagger abilities that pops out.
Magics behind every blow from their hammers.
That is new, but is like the warrior 100 blades, 1000 blades, whatever it's called, ability, but with the hammer. So, you know, reusing animations is a really, really good thing to do. It like lessens production time. That's a good thing to do. Like we actually, and also our brains, I guess, to a way we link to maybe specific abilities in the game where we think, oh yeah, that does a lot of damage. You know, 1000 blade, whatever. You know, Banish did a knockback. So wondering and hoping if that, you know, maybe there's some CC in there, because this could be quite the tanky spec as well, you know, and my head always goes to PvP, and I think, you know, maybe this could be like a capture point defender or like duelist or bruiser, and just wonder what it's going to be. Now everything else what else they're talking about here is interesting. Let's have a look again.
Catalysts have revitalized ancient techniques for channeling elemental forces.
That is awesome. That what is that? That is just ridiculous. Like, are they they're blasting themselves backwards? Like, obviously that seems like it could be used as a movement skill, but is it an ability, or is he like, what is it?
Techniques for channeling elemental forces with a few.
They're completely out of that shot. That's a big
modern
ability. Obviously you got a fire aura there as well, which gives might. So I'm wondering whether or not that's an activation when they go into fire with the hammer, maybe, or maybe. Because don't forget, there's all these things with Elementalist. Elementalist is very, very detailed and very, like, you know, not complicated, but very, I'm trying to think of the word. I just woke up as well. Not convoluted, but it's a wonderful it's a wonderful elite specialization. It's a wonderful class because of the intricate ways that it can synergize with itself, and also just completely not. So like you have to really build it very well for it to work, I feel. And with this, it looks like, you know, hopefully with the elements, you know, what is going to happen? Are we going to have these main elements? Are we going to have, you know, the 4 elements, and then are they going to be used with the weapon, different skills? You know, is this getting this fire aura? Is this from going into an attunement? Is this tuning to fire? Is this like a little bit of a utility thing? Is this through the traits? I always wonder this when I look at the YouTube videos and I think, what traits are they using? Is that an intrinsic base part of the class? Because that looks like it could be.
Improvements.
I like that that's like this really aggressive kind of like thing, and they've got that fire aura around them to do that as well.
They use Jade spheres to create concentrated wells of immense power.
The Jade Tech spheres is the one I'm confused about. So there's a fire. It's not a dragon, is it? It's a phoenix or something.
Within range of the spheres.
Then you've got the sphere hanging out here. You've got fire. You've got water. You've maybe got wind or air. And that looks like air.
Enhances their effects. With the weight of Tyria's
and then it sends out this damage. And I'm wondering, like,
range
what?
Of the spheres enhances their effects.
Range
Using
of
their augment abilities within range of the spheres.
Augment abilities within range of the spheres. That is confusing. Using their augment abilities within range of the spheres
enhances their effects. With the weight of Tyria's fundamental.
So it sounds like you can build up what, like we said on the Lightbringers podcast, is you can build up this energy which you can let out, and it looks like it's a combination of the elements which you can send out as well. And maybe you use one element as the big focus as to what you do. So you use like the element of fire, and you're going to send out a ton of burning, or like maybe AoE might or something at the same time. And you use the other elements to like empower it, and you don't use that element as much, or maybe you use your utilities to do that, or maybe you channel something. I'm not too sure. There isn't immobilize here now. There isn't immobilize on the hammer for Guardian as well. We have a look at hammer. I haven't got many classes that use hammer as well. You know, warrior, engineer, and guardian, as well as revenant. Actually, that's quite a lot. It's actually quite a lot.
Magics behind every blow from their hammers.
Wait, what was that? And every blow.
Every blow.
No.
With the weight of Tyria's fundamental magics behind every blow from their hammers.
Because that's fire. Like every blow. Whoa.
Magics behind every blow from their hammers.
It's changed the. So that's interesting. Can you see that? Now, there was a theory I had, and it was that they may not give us all the elements. Let's have a look.
With the weight of Tyria's fundamental magics behind every blow from their hammers.
Because
these elementalists are.
Now that could just be the flowing of the weapon, the white kind of lines that you see that flow behind the weapon as it's swung, or is it another element?
From their hammers. These elementalists.
It could look like water, air, and look at the hands as well.
These elementalists are.
It looks like they're in water. That's what happens, isn't it? When
blow from their hammers. These
around the hands.
Elementalists.
That looks like a different, like around the hands. Normally, like sometimes that could be the element or whatever that they're in.
Are a steady presence in melee combat.
And that could be a combination of some. Look. Oh no. Okay, that's not necessarily it. Interesting.
A few modern improvements.
I might be wrong about that as well. They don't have it here either.
To create concentrated wells of immense.
No, there you go. You've got the fire around the hands there as well, so that's not necessarily going to be a thing. It's you've definitely got elements. You must do, yeah.
Jade tech spheres to create
Unless that's because of the element they're in with the gyro. It doesn't have to necessarily be that the weapon abilities change all that much. Although you did see the fire around them as they were running and charging in, and you'd have to still have the elements for it to work with the other trait lines, unless they change the trait lines. I don't think that would be a thing. That would be a lot of work.
Concentrated wells of immense power. Using their augment abilities within range of the spheres enhances their effects.
The augment abilities as well could be utilities, so it may not be wells. That's the thing as well, like these may not be wells.
With the weight of Tyria's fundamental magics behind every.
That's nice. So that big earth kind of blast was a big immobilize. I wonder if that's an AoE immobilize as well, because if that was an AoE immobilize, that would be sick in PvP. Would it be overpowered? Potentially, but it could be pretty damn fun to use for a bit. Silicon Earth.
Their hammers.
I love
These
that animation.
elementalists are a steady presence in melee.
I always hope that these animations are better, like you can run around with these animations.
These elementalists are a steady presence in melee combat.
Yeah, that's definitely got to be utility. Interesting. The catalyst as well. Now, if we look up the meaning of what catalyst is, just the simple Google translate, Google of catalyst, what that means: a substance that increases the rate of chemical reaction without itself undergoing any permanent chemical change. Increases the rate of a chemical reaction. So as I said, building up this chemical or building up this element and sending it out as like this strong ability, this strong damage ability, or this strong buff. Maybe it doesn't necessarily mean, yeah. What does being a catalyst means? A person whose talk, enthusiasm, or energy causes others to be more friendly, enthusiastic, or energetic. So that's interesting. There's different. Obviously, you can take it as different ways of what a catalyst could do, but it empowers people, empowers things, it empowers magic, it empowers powers, all the things. But this is really really interesting. I can't wait to go and look at the other people's videos. Like I love watching like Kroof as well. So if you haven't checked out Kroof, youtube.com/Kroof gaming, I think, who is on our Lightbringers podcast as well. They do like really great videos like me, like where they talk about the specs. There's like there's loads of people who do this, and I think it's always interesting I always go around and see what other people think and see who is closest as well, because I think we can all have very different ideas, especially by the games we've played in the past. And I know I might be rattling on a little bit right now, but if you have enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Massively appreciated. Comment, what do you think? Am I wrong? Is there some things in there where it's like, oh, it could be this, that, the other? What's going on? What do you think? Okay, let me know. Come and join us for the Lightbringers on Fridays for Guild Wars 2 podcast, as well as checking out anchor.fm/Jebro Unity as well. It could be Jebro rather than Jebro Unity. You might be flaking a bit there on that one. The Patreon, everything is in the description below. Just go and check it out. Really solid, awesome podcast with different guests each week. Also, we do go and play the game while we have the podcast as well, and talk about little things like new player experience. And if you want to purchase any of the expansions, Ender Dragons, Heart of Thorns, Path of Fire, link below, directs you to it, supports the channel. I am an official RingNet partner sponsored by them. Don't forget to do all the things. I'll see you later. Just enjoy, because damn, this looks cool. Elementalist players, kind of jealous. See you next time. Take it easy, peeps.